Hillary, saying Hillary's name, as we've been told, is sexist. So Hillary's parents were obviously sexist. Hillary vows to topple the rich in off-the-record meeting. What? She's going to topple herself? Hillary Rotten Clinton told economists in an off-the-record meeting she wants to topple the wealthiest 1% of Americans. So she wants to use the power of the presidency and the federal government to destroy people who are successful. Doesn't matter who they are, doesn't matter who they've benefited, doesn't matter what they've invented, what service they provide you. She wants to destroy, she wants to topple the top 1%, excluding herself, of course, and her husband, and all the other leeches who've made tens of millions of dollars with their big mouths and nothing more, and their influence peddling. The revelations come from a Tuesday New York Slimes article written by reporter Amy Kozik and entitled A Newcomer to Populism, Hillary Clinton Campaign Begs to Differ. So this is now populism? Marxism is now populism? Maoism, Leninism, Trotskyism, that's now populism? That's tyranny. That's totalitarianism. It's not populism. The bulk of the piece describes Clinton's efforts to recast herself as a populist Democrat in the vein of Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren? So are those the grand heights to which now Hillary Clinton seeks to reach? A backbencher nobody? But buried all the way in the 25th paragraph is an account of a meeting Clinton held earlier in the year with a group of unnamed economists. Quote, says the New York Slimes, in a meeting with economists this year, Mrs. Clinton intensely studied a chart that showed income inequality in the United States. Now let's stop there. Income inequality in the United States. What does that mean? Mr. Producer, Mr. Call Screener, you don't earn the same amount of money. Mr. Producer, you may not earn the same amount of money as another producer. I, as a talk show host, I may not earn the same amount of money as other talk show hosts. I may earn more or less or what have you. Those of you who work in different professions, different fields, whether you work an assembly line or drive a truck, you may not earn the same exact thing as somebody else. In what society is there income equality? In a society that has absolutely no individual liberty. What did the founders of the country mean by equality? What the founders of the country meant by equality was each of us has a right to equal treatment under the law, to equal justice. And that is something that we seek to pursue imperfectly, but nonetheless we must pursue. It goes to the heart of a civil society, of a just society, if you will. But what is this income inequality stuff? I think they tried that in Cambodia, and they wiped out 25% of the population. I think they tried that in Mao's China, and they only wiped out 40 to 60 million people. I think they're doing it today in the utopian paradise called North Korea. This is a broad attack on free market capitalism. This is a broad attack on income creation, on wealth creation. This is a broad attack on the heart and soul of our nation's principles. The gap between the haves and the have-nots, it's growing more and more and more. You want to know one of the main reasons it's growing more and more? Because within those statistics, they include who? Illegal aliens who come into this country, for the most part, with nothing, with no assets. Oh, look at this. Income inequality, it's growing. So the left, the statists, not just the left, the statists create the circumstances which they condemn. And then their answer is always the same thing. Not to back off, not to change course, but to put the foot on the gas pedal. To become increasingly centralized with more and more concentrated power and demanding uniformity and conformity from the American people. That is, to wring out of us our own DNA, our own motivation, our own individuality. And that's tyranny. So when you hear somebody say, income inequality, we must eliminate income inequality. Think North Korea. Think Mao's China. Think Stalin's Russia. And by the way, keep in mind that never ever do the people issuing the directives and the fiats to destroy our livelihoods, to destroy the American way of life, they never are poor. I'm not talking about the street rabble-rousers. I'm talking about the people with the power, the people with the iron fist. And when they leave office, they become very, very, very rich. selling their names, selling their connections, selling their policies. In a meeting with economists this year, Hillary, studied a chart that showed income inequality in the United States. The graph charted how real wages adjusted for inflation had increased exponentially for the wealthiest Americans, making the bar so steep it hardly fit on the chart. And by the way, considering 47% of our fellow Americans do not pay any federal income taxes, and the vast majority of them actually receive earned income tax credits and a whole host of benefits. The Heritage Foundation has done a big study on this each year, so has Cato, among others, showing that individuals are receiving tens of thousands of dollars in benefits. How come those benefits aren't included as income when these statistics are made, when these charts are made? You know they're not. So the New York Slimes reporter goes on to write that her sources say Clinton will pitch her toppling of the 1% as proposals for changes in the tax code as a way of also investing in education, infrastructure, and communities. Mrs. Clinton pointed at the top category and said the economy required a toppling of the wealthiest 1%. She's a fascist. The fascists always keep what they have and take from others. And, of course, her estimated worth, somewhere between $5 and $50 million, which makes her not only in the top 1%, the top 1/1000th of 1%. Which, again, raises the question, will she be toppling herself? Absolute frauds. But dangerous frauds, because they will do to us what they would never do to themselves, from the school lunch program to toppling the top 1%. From phony global warming, in which you're required to drive a smart car, but they take 2 jets to the West Coast.